Why is the left kicking and screaming about the success of the Sound of Freedom movie? Claiming it's QAnon adjacent, trying to smear the film as if it's propaganda when it's based on a true story that they used to actually care about. If you don't know already, The Sound of Freedom is a true story based on the life of Tim Ballard, a former government agent that turned vigilante when I believe the government kind of pulled out of the situations that he was working in, which was breaking up child sex trafficking rings. It's not fantasy. It's a true story. It's not propaganda. In fact, CBS themselves did a story on this 8 years ago featuring Tim Ballard.
54 boys and girls aged 11 to 18 were ushered in for what had been billed as a sex party. They were given candy and drinks and told to wait in this small room.
This little 11-year-old boy, I remember, he asked one of my operatives if they could give him some cocaine or something. He said, they usually give me something because I'm really scared.
By the time the deal was done, the alleged traffickers were set to make $25,000. That transaction was never completed. 25 Colombian special operatives stormed the party, arresting 5 suspects, 4 men and 1 former beauty queen, all charged with child trafficking. The victims, 29 of whom are under 18, were evacuated, given medical exams, and placed in a rehabilitation center where specialists are working to undo the damage.
Right before I got in the boat, we had to walk by this room where the kids were, and they put their hand up. And I touched their hand and see that there's liberation now.
Liberating one child at a time. Elaine Quijano, CBS News, New York.
They used to actually care about child trafficking. But what on earth happened? Is it because Jim Caviezel is openly talking about adrenochrome? I personally have not done the research into the whole adrenochrome story. But how many of these conspiracy theories have to be proven completely true before you start taking the accusation of conspiracy with a grain of salt and start thinking, before I make a decision on this, maybe I should do my own research and find out what is and is not true about it? Jim Caviezel seems completely convinced about the adrenochrome. The fact is, these children are sex trafficked. Children do disappear. Millions of kids just, gone from the face of the earth? I don't know what's happened to them.
You have a lot of people who are in this world of QAnon who say, oh, they don't know what that is. They've never heard of it. They're just asking questions. With somebody like Jim Caviezel, he is openly embracing it. He's openly using its catchphrases and its concepts. He's speaking at QAnon conventions. And this film is being marketed to either specific QAnon believers or to people who believe all of the same tenets as QAnon, but claim they don't know what it is. And the most durable and the most believable conspiracy theories are not entirely false. There's something in them that is true and the rest of it is false, but the believers point to the one true thing and they say, oh, you don't believe that this particular thing is true. In terms of child trafficking, we know trafficking is real. We know it has real victims. No one is denying that. But these films are created out of moral panics. They're created out of bogus statistics. They're created out of fear. And with something like Sound of Freedom, it specifically is looking at QAnon concepts of these child trafficking rings that are run by the high-level elites, and only people like Tim Ballard and only people like Jim Caviezel, and by extension, only people like the ticket buyer can help bring these trafficking rings down. So there's a very participatory element. You're not just going to see a movie, you're just killing 2 hours on a hot day. You are helping bring down these pedophile rings and save children. Now, it's not true, but it's a very comforting and it's a very warm feeling to have.
So I get the very strong feeling that for some reason the mainstream media does not want this film to do well. They are targeting it for destruction. They're pretending like somehow this is a bunch of propaganda. They're outright saying that, hey, if you go and you spend your money on this movie, it's not going to help. You know what it is doing? It is exposing this truth, this reality. This movie, it beat Indiana Jones on July 4th. Indiana Jones, one of the tent-peg entertainment properties of our culture, and The Sound of Freedom beat it. And it didn't do it by appealing to QAnon. Do you know who they appealed to? They appealed to churches. That's what their marketing campaign was. They went to churches and churches said, hey, This is a vitally important topic, and it is saving children, protecting children, getting children out of these horrible situations is vital, not to just a Christian faith, but to you if you are a human being. And so they implored us to go and see this movie. But no, my pastor didn't get up there and talk about QAnon and adrenochrome and all of that stuff. They were not marketing it to the QAnon conspiracy. They marketed it to people with a heart. And if you're somebody with a heart and you care about children, I suggest you get out there and go see it as well. It smells to me like they're hiding something because they don't want this brought out into the light. I can't attribute what that is to other than maybe they just like to take the side of the pedophiles. Who knows? I'm Mike, the Unapologetic American. God bless you all. Have a great weekend. Like, subscribe, share, and please tell me what you think in the comment section below. Let's start a conversation. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.
America.